Okay, on to the next Skip the Line reaction, man. And this is Ylvis, man. As you know, we reacted to 2 of their songs before. I think it was the Fox song, and then it was the Stonehenge one. Those were the best reactions we've ever done on the channel. 2 of them. The ones that stand the test of time. Right? The best. The best we've ever done. Right? I actually had a couple of people on a serious note tell me, oh, how can you say that this is the best you've ever done? You want to tell me this is better than the mash? I'm like, if you cannot navigate through my sarcasm, I can't help you. I can't help you, right? But I must be honest, I really do enjoy the Ylvis. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I think they're very light-hearted. I think what they do is super fun, and yeah, and it might rile up a couple of people for absolutely no reason. I've noticed that today in today's day, people just get insulted by nothing, right? So it is what it is. Anyway, this is a Skip the Line reaction from Tom Bredesen, and the message over here is this one is for Rosa and Frank, which are they're part of the furniture on this channel. You know, they are friends and old. Shots fired. Really, really old. Okay. Shots fired. Tom firing shots over here. Frank and Rosa, it's time to team up and do a diss track on Tom Bredesen. It's time to do it. Let's go.
I saw you at the railway station. There had been a cancellation. You were smoking cigarettes alone. I walked up and said hello. I lost my wife 2 days ago. You shook my hand and said, Francis, what's your name? And you had a hat.
You said, you shook my hand, you said, Francis, what's your name? Well, so he knew your name.
My hand and said, Francis, what's your name? And you had a hat. And I had a hat. We both had hats.
These dudes, bro. These dudes are quality, dude. Come on, bro. You had a hat, I had a hat. We both had hats. It's just a perfect observation. I mean, come on.
We both had hats. And my wife was dead. And your wife was dead.
These dudes.
Shit happens, Francis said.
It actually does sound like something old people would do, though. You know what I mean? It's like they're making it so simplistic because, you know, by that age, things would just... You want to keep things simple. You're tired of the complexities of life, right? You're going to just enjoy the small things. It's like, hey, you got a hat? I got a hat. Hey, we got something in common. You know what I mean? Your wife's dead? My wife's dead. Hey, shit happens. Another thing in common. Let's go.
Shit happens, Francis said.
You struggle to urinate? I struggle to urinate. You struggle to see? I struggle to see. You complain about the government? I complain about the government. Man, we are made for each other, said every old man ever.
Dead. Shit happens, Francis said. Francis said it's 5 o'clock. How about we find a rock and throw it at some cars from the bridge?
Wow, what old man would ever do that? Let's be real. What old man is going to throw rocks at a car from a bridge? Something teenagers do.
How about we find a rock and throw it at some cars from the bridge? I laughed and said, that sounds like fun. We walked into the setting sun, and Francis said, I'm aiming at the kids. And he threw a rock.
Seriously?
So I threw a rock. We both put some gravel in a sock.
Oh my god.
And he threw the sock. I said we should stop. He smiled at me, then threw a rock and a sock.
Oh my god.
We snuck down to the local farm, and there we opened up the barn to set the horses free and watch them run. The moon was extra bright that night, the horses in the pale moonlight. Watch this, Francis said, and pulled his gun. He shot a horse.
Wah! Wah! I don't understand these lyrics. Wah! No man would do, not old man would do this, right? No old man would do this. It's just not what they do. They would complain about kids doing this. This is what they do. When you get old, you just complain. That's what happens. You complain, and you're allowed to. You're allowed to complain, right? When you get old, you just complain. No old man's gonna go out there and just shoot horses, right? Well, no wise old man would go out there and do that, which would be the majority of them, right? They've lived life. They don't want to be mischievous, right? They want to reminisce, relax. It just seems like too much effort.
So bright that night, the horses in the pale moonlight. Watch this, Francis said, and pulled his gun. He shot a horse, so I shot a horse. Francis choked a chicken with his hands. But watching them die, he started to cry. I'm bored, Francis said, let's steal a car.
What on earth are they going on about over here? I mean, they didn't cry for the horses, but you cried for a chicken.
Francis choked a chicken with his hands. But watching them die, he started to cry. I'm bored, Francis said, let's steal a car. Oh Margaret, oh.
I almost kind of feel like this speaks to like dementia, where they're going like in and out of like lucidity, where it's like, hey, well, what are we doing? Like, why did I shoot a horse? And then he comes back to his senses, and then he starts crying. Or why did he kill a chicken? He starts crying. It's like, it's not something I do. Do you know what I mean?
Said, let's steal a car.
And then all of a sudden,
oh Margaret, don't you worry about me now. I'm doing just fine on my own. There are other things to life than your soft skin against mine. And Francis is helping.
Now they're throwing Molotov cocktails too now? Good Lord. It's actually a pretty sad song to a certain degree, right? It's like they're trying to find a little bit of excitement in their older years because they're alone, right? And they found each other and they thought, well, let's sort of, I'd hope not relive their youths because I hope they weren't doing that when they were younger. But, okay.
Then your soft skin against mine. Francis is helping me move on. I'm moving on. Life's a bitch, a wise man said. No matter what, you end up dead. And all that you can wish for is a friend.
True.
So pour another glass of wine with Francis' shoulder touching mine. I'll stay right here until the bitter end. And you have a hat, and I have a hat. We both have hats. And your wife is dead, and my wife is dead. Here's to life, Francis said. Here's to life, Francis said. Here's to life, Francis said.
I think there was a lot more in between the lines of this song than what there was in the lines of the song, if that makes any sense, right? There was something there. There was a message there for you to take, right? There was a message in between the lines that just speaks of just the tragedies of life, right? And towards the end of your life, what else do you have but friendship, right? What else do you have but trying to just have somebody by your side, someone that's your wingman or your confidant that can just sort of be with you for the rest of your days. I think there was more to that than they said that. They kind of hid the real tragic message in between the comedy, which I think is fantastic. But what I'd like to find out, more importantly, is when Frank and Rosa are going to go out and shoot horses, choke chickens, throw Molotov cocktails, steal cars, and beat people with knuckle dusters. I'm assuming that's coming. I'm assuming that's coming. You guys let me know if you'd ever do that. I'm not entirely sure. I think in my old age, I don't know what I would do in my old age, but I would like to think. What I'd actually like to do when I pass away, what would be great, is I'd I might even put this in my will. I want actually, because we've got the technology now, I want all of these animatronics to be put into my body. So I want my skeleton, you can cut me up from behind so that it's nice and decent, and then you can sort of tie my body up with like a sort of exoskeleton to a certain degree. Like something that's, you know, can sort of go into my body, like underneath my skin. I don't want it on the outside of my skin. I want this to be cool. So they can actually, when I pass away, they can like sort of cut into me, put some animatronics into there, and then when I'm actually, you know, sort of in the church, and I want it to be an open casket as well. And I don't want sad music. I want some like fun music to be playing at my funeral. And then as the fun music plays, I want to come out my coffin, and I want to like dance with the fun music, with the animatronics, you know what I mean, with all the people. And then, you know, when the music stings, and I just fall back down again. And I want that to be recorded, and I want that to be on YouTube to live forever. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to see the reactions. You know what I mean? We got the technology, man. Why not use the technology, man? Anyway, I love you all. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.